Shocking DOJ files spark rumors, but here's the real truth about Erica Kirk and Epstein. Picture this. Waves of documents finally drop from the Department of Justice about Jeffrey Epstein's dark world. Millions of pages hit the public, names fly everywhere, and suddenly people start connecting dots that aren't even there. One name that popped up in online chatter: Erica Kirk, the widow of Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. Rumors exploded claiming the files confirm she worked for one of Epstein's friends, maybe even as a recruiter. Sounds explosive, right? But let's cut through the noise and look straight at what actually happened. The body of this story is simple and straight. Erica Kirk did work as a real estate agent at the Corcoran Group in New York starting around 2018. That's a fact from her own background and reports. The Corcoran Group. Yes, that firm handled sales of some Jeffrey Epstein properties after his death, like his Palm Beach mansion listed in 2020 by one of their agents. So there's a company link, loose and indirect. But here's the blunt part: the DOJ files themselves. They mention nothing about Erica Kirk. No name drops, no recruiter claims, no direct ties to Epstein or his circle. Fact checks from places like Snopes, Lead Stories, and others have slammed these rumors as baseless. No evidence she knew Epstein, worked with him, or played any role in his crimes. The Epstein trafficking probe focused on years like 2002 to 2005, when Erica was just a high school kid in Arizona, nowhere near any of it. The Epstein's friend angle, it stretched from the company handling a post-death sale years later. Conspiracy videos and posts push it hard, but the documents don't back it up. This is classic internet smoke, a tiny thread blown into a massive fire. What this really shows is how fast wild claims spread in the Epstein saga. People want justice, names exposed, accountability for the powerful who partied with a monster. But slapping innocent connections onto victims' pain doesn't help anyone. It muddies the water and distracts from real monsters still walking free. Stay sharp, question everything, and demand proof before believing the hype. Sarah Ferguson's charity closes amid Epstein ties, but no Romanian kid link holds up. Imagine the headlines exploding. A royal ex-wife's charity suddenly shuts its doors right after fresh Epstein documents drop, and online voices scream it's tied to missing kids from Romania. Even whispering about some creepy kids' logbook found. Sounds like the next big bombshell in the endless Epstein saga, doesn't it? People are furious, demanding answers about powerful folks and vulnerable children. But let's dig in straight, no fluff, just facts. Here's the real deal, blunt and clear. Sarah Ferguson's charity, Sarah's Trust, launched in 2020 to help women, kids, poverty, crises like Ukraine aid and education in places like Ghana, announced it would close for the foreseeable future in early February 2026. The timing. Just days after the latest U.S. Department of Justice release of millions of Epstein-related files, including emails showing Ferguson's ongoing contact with Epstein years back, even calling him a supreme friend in older messages that already cost her spots with other charities. Mainstream outlets like BBC, Guardian, App, and People all report the closure links directly to that renewed Epstein scrutiny and backlash. The charity itself said the decision came after months of talks, and they were proud of their work partnering with dozens of groups worldwide. No mention anywhere in credible reports of Romanian missing children, no kids' logbook, no trafficking accusations tied to her charity, the Romanian angle. Ferguson did visit orphanages there back in 2008 with her daughters for a TV documentary exposing awful conditions in state institutions, Romania and Turkey. She founded an earlier charity, Children in Crisis, focused on kids' education globally, and it had some Romania ties years ago. But that was humanitarian spotlight stuff, not scandal. Older gripes from 2009 accused her of not fully funding a promised clinic after the doc, but nothing about missing kids or logs. The current shutdown, zero connection in any official docs, news, or investigations to Romanian abductions. That claim pops up in YouTube videos and fringe posts tying it to Epstein files, but it's smoke, no fire. No evidence in the release documents names her in any child trafficking, no logbooks surface in real reports. It's the same pattern. Loose old threads, her past charity work in Romania, get twisted with fresh Epstein drama to fuel wild theories. Real justice demands proof, not rumors that hurt actual victims by diluting focus. Bottom line, this exposes how Epstein's shadow still poisons reputations and shuts doors, even for charities doing good work. But slapping unproven horrors onto it helps no one. Demand real evidence, stay skeptical of hype, and keep pushing for truth in the powerful circles that protected monsters too long. Pam Bondi caught in Epstein file mess withheld Trump accusations spark outrage. Picture this. Fresh waves of Jeffrey Epstein documents hit the public in early 2026, promised to expose everything under the new Epstein Files Transparency Act. People expect full truth, no more hiding. Then boom, investigations reveal the Justice Department, led by Attorney General Pam Bondi, held back dozens of pages tied to serious claims against President Trump involving alleged sexual abuse of a minor decades ago. Critics scream cover up, pointing fingers at Bondi for letting these child crimes slip through the cracks by not releasing them, then getting caught when media dug in. Straight facts, no sugar. NPR's probe shows the DOJ withheld over 50 pages, including FBI interviews and notes from a woman accusing Trump of abusing her as a teen after Epstein introduced them. Only partial early interviews made it public. Later ones mentioning Trump vanished from the database. Bondi and her deputies sent letters to Congress swearing nothing was hidden for embarrassment, reputational harm, or political sensitivity to any public figure. Yet here we are, accusations of child-level wrongdoing against Trump suppressed, while the department pulled other files too, like photos and docs that briefly surfaced then disappeared, some reinstated after backlash, citing victim privacy mix-ups. Earlier releases had botched redactions leaking victim names and nudes, forcing thousands of pages down. Bondi testified hard, defending the process, blaming prior admins, but Democrats hammered her in hearings for failing victims and possible favoritism. No proven crimes in these withheld bits. Many claims are old, unverified hearsay from lawsuits dropped or dismissed, but the selective release fuels massive distrust. This isn't about one person. It's the system still shielding power players while real victims wait for justice. What this boils down to is trust shattered again in the Epstein nightmare. When the top law enforcement office picks and chooses what sees daylight, especially on explosive child abuse allegations, it erodes faith for everyone. Victims deserve every scrap of truth, not redactions that conveniently protect the powerful. We need full transparency, real accountability, and no more games. Question authority, demand proof, and don't let hype bury the facts. America's justice system. Protecting the powerful while crushing the poor. Epstein files prove it. Imagine a country where the rich and connected skate free from serious crimes, but if you're broke and steal bread to feed your family, you're locked up fast. Now picture the top law enforcement office holding back explosive files on child abuse claims against the president himself, while everyday folks get their doors kicked in for far less. This isn't some conspiracy theory. It's playing out right now in the Epstein files mess, and it screams double standards louder than ever. The raw truth hits hard. The U.S. justice system bends over backward for the wealthy and powerful. Look at the latest Epstein releases. Millions of pages dropped in January 2026 under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, but NPR's investigation shows dozens of pages missing, including over 50 pages of FBI interviews and notes about accusations that President Trump sexually abused a minor decades ago after an Epstein introduction. Attorney General Pam Bondi and her team swore in letters to Congress that nothing was withheld for embarrassment, reputational harm, or political sensitivity to any big name. Yet those specific docs vanished from the public database, while the DOJ claims full compliance and calls some accusations untrue and sensationalist. Democrats in Congress call it a blatant cover-up, with heavy redactions, missing prosecution memos, and only half the expected files released. Meanwhile, victims beg for full truth, but the powerful get shielded. Flip the script to the streets. A homeless person or poor family member caught shoplifting for survival faces swift arrest, fines they can't pay, jail time, and a record that kills job chances forever. Reports show mass incarceration traps people in poverty cycles, criminalizes homelessness with new laws punishing sleeping outside, and hits the poor hardest, while white-collar crimes by the elite often end in slaps on the wrist or nothing at all. The system raids regular homes over minor stuff, but drags feet on raiding files that could expose elite pedophiles and traffickers. It's complicit protection for the top, brutal enforcement for the bottom. This exposes a rotten core in American justice. Wealth buys leniency, power buys silence, and the poor pay the price in cells and ruined lives. Real protection for victims means warrants, full raids on evidence, no selective releases. Until we demand equal justice, no favorites, no cover-ups, we're all at risk when the system picks winners and losers based on bank accounts and connections. Wake up, question it, push for real change. I want you all to understand how much I do appreciate you. Thank you very much for listening. Please follow me, hit the bell or subscribe to keep up with my posts. Bless you all and please stay safe. Love always. Maria D.C. Santiago.